everybody as soon as I start dropping bars, oh my God, he's in the episode. Oh my God, he need to go to the hospital. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And it's just, oh God, oh no. What do you call like the hard drives and the way, somebody's more technical. The microchips, right?
The processors.
The processors, right? Mm-hmm. We are God's ultimate iPhone. We are God's favorite creation. So if Steve Jobs was God, we would be his iPhone. Right. And we are simply programmed. Mm-hmm. And we go with the program, and some are unprogrammed, and some of the unprogrammed are people who they say are crazy, or people who go off the rails, right. People who end up homeless. And the program are the people who go with the program. Right. And you have this thing like when I said, when I hit you with a WYD, you better not hit me with an HUY. You better be like, hi, with a bunch of I's, or hey, with a bunch of Y. And so it's, people who heard that song would text me back with a bunch of I's or a bunch of Y's. We just right there adjusted programming. That's simple. That's what media, that's the mind control is all about. Can you be a part of the programming? What I say to Drake is he added something to the algorithm as we become more civilized and more sophisticated.
The things he was saying definitely made sense. For anyone who's into nuclear science or quantum physics, you'll know that he is not crazy. He's talking actual scholarly shit. But the average person who's never studied biomedics or medical or these other things, they just wouldn't comprehend it the same. So to them, because they don't know it in that speech, it's jargon to them. Therefore, they think it is wrong or the person's crazy. No, it's just that they're studied. It's a difference. Now, if that wasn't a sign to prove my point, the alarm went off. I'd say we're on to something here. See, people can put stuff in their own perspective, right, of how they think things should be or how they are based on their life experience, what they've been through, and their personal perception of a person. Now, let's take that same scenario. Let's say someone had a talk on a show and everyone was told to dissect it with what they thought, their input. Everybody's viewpoint is going to be different. It's going to be based on their personal life experience, their view of that person, of how they perceive them.
Classified as the same thing. Right. It's classified as the same thing. It's power and politics. Power-hungry maniacs and just control. This is 1984, mind control that we in.
And mob mentality, too.
Mob mentality.
Cancel culture? How you feel about cancel culture?
Power-hungry maniacs and just control. This is 1984, mind control that we in.
And mob mentality, too.
Mob mentality. It'll be an uproar. Here comes the backlash.
Let's go. You were the president of IKEA. What happened?
He's gonna be like, so I was just talking to her, I said, look, we need to create better situations for homeless people. It's a really utopian dictator concept to be like, okay, we're gonna eradicate homelessness. What about people who want to be homeless?
And there's a lot of them that want to be homeless.
There's a lot of people. So that would change. You got to think. We used to have water fountains. Now we got a plastic problem because of water bottles. That's capitalism. Right. Everyone only thinks about themselves, especially our black leaders.
Right.
Wouldn't none of us run on stage? Wouldn't none of us say, George Bush don't care about... We are very self-interested.
Two of the best moments in American history. Yeah. You said George Bush don't care about black people, and when you told Taylor Swift that Beyonce had the best video.
Yeah, and I was very...
That's American history right there.
And I was very... Would it be okay to not hit that for the whole rest?
What was it Hennessy that night that with Taylor Swift when you sat there? Why did you want to do that?
I was showing both of my addictions. I found my dad's Playboy when I was 5 years old, and I started drinking beer or something in high school. So I actually was carrying both of my addictions, one in one arm, one in the other. I was actually talked in to going to the award show.
Right.
At that time, it was Don C's job to talk me into stuff. They find new people whose job would be to talk me into doing something that I don't want to do. Influencers, people around you. So that night I said, man, I'm not going to this award show. I'm not sitting through this no more. And the very first award, they sit me in the front. Now you got Single Ladies video is like...
You were Amber at the time, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
They got... This is one of the best videos of... in history.
Come on, Beyonce.
Yeah, the Single Lady. So it's not that it's just for her. When an artist does something that's that compelling and incredible, we gotta respect it.
Right.
Like I feel like this year should nobody just even put their album in the category of album of the year, so I can finally have album of the year. Because you don't want to be the person that beat Donda for album of the year.
So I just finished the article here about Kanye and how he swiftly wants to get his divorce and how he may be eyeing his next relationship. I'm wondering if that's Radio City Swift, like MTV Music Awards Swift. Like, yo, Kanye, I'm really happy for you, and I'm going to let you finish, but Kim had the best X-rated video of all time. The irony, the freaking irony, because Taylor Swift was singing What? You Belong to Me. And Kanye congratulated Beyonce on what? Single Ladies. Wow. Awards. Jackass Awards. Hee-haw. Hee-haw.
Said that before. We gotta take the black version off of it, because I'm running circles around, all the other. You know what we gonna do?
Guys.
Yeah. That black or white. But what we gonna do to the world?
We gotta make some noise for that. Come
Yeah.
on, we gotta continue.
Like,
I ain't gonna lie, you got me hyped, motherfucker. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, like, look at Moses. In order for Moses to be Moses, he had the ability to be able to take down anybody else. That's my thing. If I'm a rap on a song, if I'm gonna do a beat, if we talk about money, whatever we talking about, I'm gonna be the Moses of the situation, because that's what God anointed me, that skill set to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's like I can, you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't have Drake write a verse. You wouldn't have Virgil do a song for you. But you wouldn't have Drake pick out a purse for you. You know what I'm saying? But I would compete with both of them at the same caliber. Competing with Virgil at Louis Vuitton with my little brown sweatshirts. Somehow, this man been anointed with different skill sets. So that's why I said I put him on a group text, and it wasn't about the matching Arc'teryx or Kid.
The baby or little baby? I forgot which one was it.
Well, it was really hard for me to get in contact with both of them. In all actuality, I had to tweet to
But
really.
You had a red hat on at the time, though.
No, this is after I had a red hat, but I still got a red hat on today. I'll let y'all know that. I might not got it on, but I'll let y'all know where I stand.
The thing to mastering one's own insanity is to get control back of their own personal self. So I'm really curious when he talks about that hat that he wears. Which one is it?
Oh, snap, I have a barber skill set and an art skill set. And I start cutting, because one of my homegirls like, I think it need a lining. Because it just looked really...
It's still lined up.
Yeah.
It's still lined up.
And I was like, I ain't finna get no lining. I got $9 billion to tell me I need a lining. I don't need no lining. so then I cut it a different way. And the name of my basketball team is the Doves. The Donda Doves. So I started to cut it like a dove. So this is actually 3 doves cut in my hair. Right. And what I like is one patch will grow back and it starts to make these layers. And I said, I'm an artist, like a process artist. And I like to let people in on the process, like what we did with the rollout. So when you see the hair, it's like you see the process of the haircut. You also see the process. It's like a representation of my thoughts developing because of how close it is to my, to my head. Brain, right? And then the whole thing is it gotta look hot, at the end of the day. Like it's girls that hit me like, yo, I like that mask. Because when I wore the mask,
Hov texted us and told us, make sure you don't walk in with that white mask.
I got the mask on me actually. Where's it at? I was actually about to start giving out haircuts because apparently this is about to be a thing.
Yeah, a lot of people gonna bite your shit.
Yeah, and my barber name is Edward Niggerhands. It's like, where's God in this conversation? You know what I'm saying? Who do you work for? Because if you don't work for God, then you're working for the devil. So who you working for at this point? I'm a man of God. God got me covered. And as long as I'm alive, God's not finished.
God damn it. All right. Let's be conclusive.
Your children, if you feel like you can't take care of them, you ain't got a place to take them, you don't have a support system, we got a place that's gonna have. I'm like, you thought that I wasn't gonna try to get killed in this interview? Dr. Sebi's diet, based off Dr. Sebi's diet, saving not only black children, but all God's children, giving an opportunity of a utopia, because the reason why we ain't get our 40 acres and a mule is we have 40 acres, we have more people. We have more people and we have leadership with the leaders not strategically taken out of the community in the 80s and the drugs and guns put into it. And then the algorithm, you know what I'm saying, the 808 exists in the lowest chakra of your body. The majority of content that's related to the 808 is killer or sexual content. The original 808s was even off pitch. So that meant it's an actual sound in the track that you don't realize is there that is fucking up your entire frequency. And now, today, every time I hear a car come out, it's 808. But if you think about African music and hip-hop and what we was breakdance to, it was light.
The percussion.
It was upbeat. It was the drums. Now it's like, and all of this is a bigger, and it's like, man, you know, at this point, it's like they should have killed me when I said George Bush don't care about black people. I ain't got nothing to say. You know, they SNL making my wife say I divorced him on TV because they just wanted to get that bar off, and I ain't never even seen the papers. We not even divorced.
Wow.
So how we, because that ain't no joke to me. My kids want their parents to stay together. I want us to be together. But
I want y'all to be together too.
If you look at the media, that's not what they promoting. That's not what they want. They want it to be a new wedding, a new episode, a new TV show. And then they have people all around in my wife's ear. You know what I'm saying? This is a publicist that's next to her. I don't fuck with her.
Really?
That was as clear as you could say.
Oh, you thought I wasn't gonna try to get killed this interview?
Wait a minute. You can speak. So he made up the name Yeezy?
He used to call me Yeezy. This is the thing. People who took a liking to me in volatile situations would always give me a nickname. So it seemed like I was like cool like them. So my boy Mali that used to sell guns, he's completely legal now. he called me K-Rock. You know, when I would be like on 79th and stuff like, you know. So that's like, that was Beanie's name for me when I was at Baseline. Yeezy. Like on some, no, that's Yeezy, like make him one of us. He let me wear a state property chain, like he really just embraced me. Because it was like, yo, most...
man, you do. That was real. That's some real shit right there. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. Okay.
And I've been trying to give it to him. I was like, man, this man made up the... It's like, you know, the lady who made the Nike swoosh, Phil Knight, went back and made sure she was straight. Or the lady that made the fidget spinner. I don't know if she's straight yet, but she...
Who the lady that made the thong? Because he needed to be...
When the system?
Alright, you ready? Yeah. Kessel Fab.
Spot is going to cost us $1 million to buy the land. And my dad is pitching to me. My dad ain't had to do one thing for me. He only had to do one thing, nut. He ain't got to do nothing. That's all my dad ever had to do was nut. He ain't got to ask me for nothing else. He made me. I told my dad the other day, I said, look, call Andre, who's my cousin, he used to work at Ernest Young. I'm always screaming at him. He does accounting right now. I said, call Andre. Anything in my account is available to you. And if you spend it all up, I'm just going to make more money.
Wow. Gee.
And go public for a T.
Like
And
publicly traded?
Do we all know what a T is?
No.
A trillion.
Yeah, but publicly traded publicly,
Yes,
right?
and make a universal, not even universal basic income, but universal wealth. Because if everybody has 100,000 a year, some people could spend it wrong, right, but it changes what we value. Right now, they pumping so many logos and so many, all the wrong kind of concepts, but it's inside of us. We collectively are God. We as a collection, God is in us. So collectively, we are God. As we move, like when they move around Mecca, when you see that, you see God inside of that. About slavery and how we should only be so lucky to vote for a woman we ain't seen since the election. We should.
Jesus, can't go there. Okay, large
Okay.
I mean, he definitely said some questionable stuff, though. I'm not going to lie. So here's my cut, but does it mean it's accurate? No, it's just my perception of what I caught during his talk, his smoke session and drink session.
This is some 1984, bro. This is mind control. This population control. Rise up, man. Look inside of you, man.
So, we going with large pro or primo?
Primo.
Primo? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, this is the last one. MJ or Prince?
We could drink for that.
Yeah, that's gonna be equal.
See, okay. Would you like a habiki?
Yeah, I do that.
How you gonna do that? Come on, help him out, Mr.
Yeah.
Lee.
I put my own drink
Okay,
to
that's
this.
all right. Let's go. That's cool.
Yeah.
God
So,
damn it.
Michael Jackson.
You met Michael Jackson?
Yes, I did. So,
You meet Prince too? Because I need both.
yes.
Yeah, he says Prince.
I met Prince.
Shit.
So both of them were fighting a fight similar to what I'm fighting, but they were fighting it for there to be more Michael Jacksons, for there to be Ye, for there to be Drake, is what they fought for. So now what I'm fighting for is the ability for there to be Elons of us, for there to be
George Orwell, 1984, which was a cautionary tale. So 1984 is a dystopian social science fiction novel and a cautionary tale, written by English writer George Orwell. It was published on June 8, 1949 by Secker and Warburg as Orwell's ninth and final book completed in his lifetime. Thematically, it centers on the consequences of totalitarianism, mass surveillance, and repressive regimentation of people and behaviors within society. In other words, mind control. Orwell, a democratic socialist, modeled the totalitarian government in the novel after Stalinist Russia and Nazi Germany. More broadly, the novel examines the role of truth and facts within politics and the way in which they are, manipulated. The story takes place in an imagined future, the year 1984, when much of the world has fallen victim to perpetual war, omnipresent government surveillance, historical negativism, and propaganda. Great Britain, known as Airstrip 1, has become a province of the totalitarian sub-state Ocean. I stuttered on that word for those of you who know the Wu-Tang, and anyway. Maybe I should start over. I shouldn't do that. Let me try that again. I'll leave out Oceania and the Wu-Tang in that episode. Let me get my mind back. Become a province of the totalitarian superstate Oceania, which was a made-up place, wasn't it? Let's look. 3 fictional superstates in George Orwell's 1949 dystopian novel. Oceania, close enough. Citizens known about the world and whatever the party wants them to know. So how the world evolved into the 3 states is unknown. And it's also unknown to the reader, whether they actually exist in the novel's reality or whether they are a storyline invented by the party to advance social control. Things that make you go, The nations, so far as can be inferred, appear to have emerged from nuclear war.
Brad Smith says George Orwell's 1984 could become a reality by 2025. Smith called all the world leaders to enact stricter laws governing the use of artificial intelligence. Good timing, Triple JC. Microsoft President Brad Smith says that the dystopian world depicted by George Orwell in his novel 1984, where totalitarian surveillance was part of life, could soon actually become a reality. What's more, it may be as early as 2024 if artificial intelligence is not regulated better, he suggests. Published in 1949, in the novel, Orwell has explored themes such as government surveillance, totalitarianism, and how a dictator can manipulate and control lives by knowing what people are going to do and say at all times. Smith is worried that if we adopt the kind of artificial intelligence once only imagined in such a dystopian novels, the complete control of a nation under a totalitarian regime is absolutely possible. Orwell's 1984, where citizens live under the constant threat of surveillance and censorship, not only infiltrated the consciousness of thousands of people, but as it also gave rise to phrases and concepts, Big Brother, the Police Room 101, that are recognized and relevant even today as signs of a nightmare's future. Smith, while speaking on BBC during a program that explores China's increase in the use of AI to monitor its citizens, said, "I'm constantly reminded of George Orwell's lessons in his book 1984. You know, the fundamental story was about a government who could see everything that everyone did and hear everything that everyone said all the time. Well, that didn't come to pass in 1984, but if we're not careful, that could come to pass in 2024. He also called on world leaders to enact stricter law to govern the use of artificial intelligence, adding that if it wasn't done to protect people in the future, we are going to find the technology racing ahead, and it's going to be very difficult to catch up. I'm in agreement with that. According to a report in Reuters, China in 2017 had released a plan outlining its ambition to become a world leader in artificial intelligence by 2025. We are indeed living in a very fake Orwellian world. You know, it's amazing all the psyops that are about these days. Between Big Brother, our televisions watching us, our phones and computers, everything having cameras, everybody giving away their facial recognition, the satellite recognition, the operations. It's just amazing. There's so many.
That's why it's important that we don't judge one another or situations, because we cannot accurately see what they have been through or what has happened in their mind to get them to that point, right? So what is my point? My point is pay attention to the difference between your personal reality and then the corporate self. There's a difference. So perspective is a hell of a thing, because we could look at Kanye's talk here and break it up any way we want and cut it and make it appear a certain way. Does it make it the reality? No.